All right, today we're playing No Limit Hold'em at Commerce Casino. Blinds are 5-5. The buy-in is $300 to $500. In our first hand, the under the gun position opens to $10. It folds around to us, and we three bet to $35. We started with 500, and the other person has about the same. It folds back around to him, and he four bets to $100. Now, Ace King is a strong hand, but given this action, I'm pretty certain it's just a fold.
Nice
At,
answer.
at this level, people aren't four betting
I had a good hand.
from
but I
under the
think
gun
you
like
had
that without a real hand.
Yeah, I believe it. Ooh.
No Limit Texas Hold'em is the Cadillac of poker. It's the best version of poker that's available in my opinion.
That was crazy.
Now you start with forced bets that are called blinds. Then every player is dealt two cards face down in front of them. These are called hole cards. There's a round of betting, and then after the round of betting, the dealer will put out three cards face up in the middle of the table, and these are community cards that everyone is available to play in their hand. Another round of betting, and then the turn card comes. This is a singular card again face up. After that, there's a river card, another round of betting, and then the players that are still in the hand will turn their cards face up, and whoever has the best 5 card hand with their 2 hole cards and the 5 community cards wins. Alright, in this next hand we have King 10 of diamonds in middle position, and it folds to us, and we raise to $20. Only the lady on our left calls, and the flop is Jack 9-7 with 1 diamond. So we flop a double gut shot straight draw, backdoor diamonds, and 1 overcard. We bet $30 here on the flop, and she calls. The turn is the 3 of diamonds, and here I decide to check with the intention of check raising all in. If she checks behind, that's not that bad because we get to see the river for free, and we're still drawing, so not that bad. She does, however, bet $55 here, and I think about it for a little bit before moving all in for about 300 more or so. She takes a little while to think about it, but then eventually decides to call, and the river is the 7 of diamonds, giving us a flush. We turn our hand face up, and of course the flush is good, and we win.
Yeah.
Alright, in this next hand we have pocket tens, and we're in the cutoff. There is a $20 open from middle position. It folds around to us. We 3-bet to $60, and the lady on our left, who we just beat with the King 10 of diamonds, she cold calls the 3-bet for $60, which, it's not really a great play. You really want to be either 4-betting or folding generally, so. But cold calling a 3-bet, I kind of give her, a pretty tight range of hands. She doesn't seem like the type to be, just cold calling with, suited connectors or something like that, so. Anyways, she calls. The original raiser from middle position also calls, and we go to a flop, which is King Queen 10 rainbow. The original raiser checks, and honestly, in hindsight, I'm pretty sure, just jamming here is fine with King Queen 10. So any jack is open end straight draw, and there's a lot of hands that are going to contain a jack in it from either of these players, a jack and possibly a queen or a king, some kind of pair like that. Anyways, we don't do that. We check for whatever reason. That's what I did. And the lady on our left goes all in for a little bit more than the size of the pot, maybe like 260, something like that, 240. I think she rebought for 300. It folds, the other guy folds the original razor, and of course we call with our pocket tens, and the board runs out clean. We show our hand, and we're good. If I had to guess, the most likely holding for her is something like ace king. You know, that makes sense with the pre-flop action and then jamming on the flop. So after that, she gets up and leaves. A win for us. All right, in this next hand, we have pocket kings in the small blind. The low jack opens to $10. The button calls 10, and we make it 45 from the small blind. Could go a little bit bigger here, maybe, but 45's fine. We want action with our big hands like this, so I'm okay with going a little bit smaller and taking some risk. The big blind, who just sat down at the table to replace the lady that we sent packing, young Asian kid, he makes it 130, which is, you know, obviously great news for us. He's got maybe like 500 or 600 behind at this point. The original Razor, who made it 10, calls the 130 with like 2 something behind. Like, come on, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And the button caller folds. It gets back around to us. I already know what I'm gonna do, but I think about it for a little bit to, you know, for dramatic effect, right? Anyways, we go all in with our pocket kings. I guess 4 better in the big blind. He thinks about it for a little bit and then decides to fold. The original Razor calls his remaining 2 whatever and asks the dealer for low cards, so that's obviously good news for us. We turn our hand face up, and he says he has a small pocket pair, so the board runs out clean, a bunch of little cards, but not whatever he needed, and we win the hand. And the young Asian kid to our left says that he had pocket jacks, which makes sense given the action. So, yeah, pocket kings, we win a nice, like, the 130 plus like 3 something, you know, something close to like $500 for that. So, pretty good. All right, in this last hand, we have pocket aces in the cutoff. There are 2 limpers, and we raise to 30. The blinds fold, only the limpers call. So there's like 100 in the pot, and the flop is king, queen, 10, rainbow. The limpers check to us. We bet $50, and only one of the limpers to our right calls. The turn is like the 4 of hearts or something, putting a backdoor flush draw out there, I believe. The limper checks to us, and he has about like 250 left, which is a little bit more than a pot-sized bet. I decide that our hand is gonna be best here enough, and it needs protection from hands that contain a jack in it. A pair and a jack is kind of what I'm putting him on at this point. King jack, queen jack, jack 10. Of course, he could have outflopped us with 2 pair or a straight or something like that. But given he just limped in, the board's kind of high like that, it makes sense that he would have, you know, jack 10 or something. So we think about it for a little bit, go all in for 250 or so, a little bit more than the size of the pot. He calls and has king queen, so we flop top 2 pair. The river doesn't pair the board or give us an ace or a jack or whatever we need to win. He has the best hand and he wins. And at the end of the day, we're up $992. So hell yeah.